whatever position is comfortable for you. And in the present moment, releasing all the busyness of getting here, all the busyness after service, focusing on the precious present moment. And let's just rest in the silence. Counting down in our mind's eye in preparation for bringing ourselves back to this room, this time, this space. 5. We notice we're on the bottom of a staircase and become aware of the soles of our feet pressing onto the floor. Number 4, take a couple steps up on the staircase and become aware of our breathing, our chest rising up and down with each breath. Number 3, in the middle of the staircase, becoming more aware of our body parts and how they fit in time and space. Number 2, very close to the top of the staircase, becoming aware of the top of our head, our fingertips, our toes. And number 1, we've arrived top of the staircase. And whenever you're ready, open your eyes and come back to the room.
I release
Good morning, everyone. Please stand and join Kirsten Plambeck in our opening song, Holy, Holy Way. The song is Call and Response. This means that Kirsten will sing the lead lines and we will respond with those same words.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me know that love is all around. Let me know that love is all around. Oh, let me know that love is all around. Let me know that love is all around. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me know that love can be the song. Let me know that love can be the song. Oh, let me know that love can be the song. Let me know that love can be the song. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Welcome to Creative Living Fellowship. My name is Fran Peck. I am a licensed practitioner and the animal chaplain here at CLF. And I will be serving as our Sunday service host, and I'm also the practitioner for the day. Do we have anyone here for the first time? No, I recognize everybody. Let's see. So here's a reminder of who we are. We are an independent religious science church, and we honor all paths that lead to truth. Our deep intention here is to be a community of care, love, care, and connection that opens hearts, expands consciousness, and transforms lives. And we do that through the principles and practices of the science of mind and spirit. The science of mind is a new thought, ancient wisdom teaching that provides us with tools for living our best possible lives. Our founder, Ernest Holmes, said, "There is a power in the universe, and we can use it." So here's a little bit of the lay of the land. Our pre-service meditation was facilitated by Monica Zickus. Thank you, Monica. High Watch is also being facilitated by Monica. That means that she is sitting in meditation and prayerful contemplation, holding a space for the perfect unfoldment of this service. Thank you, Monica. And as also I'm serving as the practitioner of the day, I will be offering our evocation. That will be followed by our congregational chant, The World. I think we all know it now. Please feel free to sing it with feeling and meaning and be interactive with it. The world is, I am, you are, we are, the world is. Today we welcome back Kirsten Plambeck, who will be serving as our resident musician and musical inspiration today. She will be leading us in the chant. The lyrics will be on the screen. After the chant, our gong master, Reverend Christopher, will bring us a powerful gong wash. There will be a few moments of silence after the gong wash, and then I will be back with the inspirational reading of the day. So right now, let's just turn within for prayer. Just breathing into the awareness of that one power, that one life, that one source that is the source of us all. That life is my life, and it's the life of each of us here. And that life is love. That life is harmony. That life is joy. That life is peace. That life is divine flow and abundance. And so, knowing this spiritual truth, I speak my word of blessing for this service. I know that it unfolds perfectly, divinely. And I bless each and every person involved with this service. And I'm so very grateful for their service to this community. I bless Reverend Dr. Sherry and her message, knowing it is divinely inspired, divinely guided. I bless our congregation, knowing that each receives that for which they have need. I send special blessings around the world, anywhere where peace and love are needed. I send special blessings to California and the residents of California as they are experiencing another severe weather event and flooding. I know that the power and the presence of God is right where they are, blessing and keeping them. And I bless teachers of truth everywhere, knowing that we are all one in the one. And so very grateful for this knowing, and so very grateful for the perfect manifestation of this word spoken today. I simply release my word and allow it to be. I release my word in faith, I release my word in trust, and I release my word in truth. And I say, thank you, life. Thank you, God. And so it is.
The world is a place of great love for all. The world is a place of great light for all. When all's said and done, we're all from the one. The world is a place of great peace. I am a place of great love for all. I am a place of great light for all. When all's said and done, we're all from the one. Oh, I am a place of great peace. You are a place of great love for all. You are a place of great light for all. When all's said and done, we're all from the one. Oh, you are a place of great peace. We are a place of great love for all. We are a place of great light for all. When all's said and done, we're all from the one. Oh, we are a place of great peace. The world is a place of great peace.
Our reading this morning is The Guest House by Rumi. This being human is a guest house. Every morning a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond.
Have I been sleeping? I've been so still, afraid of crumbling. Have I been careless, dismissing all distant rumblings? Take me where I am supposed to be. Comprehend the things that I can't see. 'Cause I need to move, I need to wake up, I need to change, I need to shake up, I need to speak out. Something's got to break up. I've been asleep, and I need to wake up now. And as a child, I danced like it was 1999. My dreams were wild, the promise of this new world will be mine. Now I am throwing off the carelessness of youth. Listen to an inconvenient truth, that I need to move, I need to wake up, I need to change, I need to shake up, I need to speak out. Something's got to break up. I've been asleep, I need to wake up now. Yeah. I am not an island, I am not alone. I am my intentions, trapped here in this flesh and bone. And I need to move, I need to wake up, I need to change, I need to shake up, I need to speak out. Something's got to break up. I've been asleep, and I need to wake up now.
That was a wow. Let's give her a hand again. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. Oh, let's all take a breath together. Good morning, everybody. It's good to see you all on this Sunday morning. And I invite you to breathe again and again and again. You know, the theme for the month is willing to be willing. And all the things that Kirsten was singing about in the song, are you willing to wake up? It's the question that I have this morning. Are you willing to wake up? And my topic for today is resistance-free living. Resistance-free living. Resistance-free living. And all the things that she was singing about, we generally have resistance to at one time or another. Resistance to change, resistance to waking up, resistance to doing something different. Resistance is something that we get caught up in from time to time to time to time and time and time and time again. So I'm going to invite you to just take a deep breath right now and just really look at those places in our lives where we are resisting at this time. Because when we are in a place of resistance-free living, then we are really free. We are really free. And how often do we do that? Because we all tend to resist. We all tend to push against things that we don't like. We push against people that we don't like. We push against situations and circumstances. And that pushing against is resistance itself. It's resistance itself. And that's how we get caught up moving through our lives, resisting. Moving through our lives, resisting. And we find ourselves, as we move through life, resisting, not going with the flow, because resistance is just the opposite of going with the flow. When we're resisting, we're holding tight, or we're pushing away, or we're holding tight, or we're doing both. We're holding tight and we're pushing away. We're holding tight and we're pushing away. Sometimes we're doing it with both hands as we go along. And you know what the thing is? We don't even realize we're doing it because resistance becomes such a thing that's second nature to us, that we're resisting and we don't even know that we are. If we are in the present moment and we are really, really focused on who we are and focused on being mindful and being fully centered and fully in the presence, then we can feel our bodies when they're tense. We can feel ourselves when we tense up when certain things happen or we hear certain things or whatever. We can feel all that. But if we're walking mindlessly through this life, we don't pay attention to any of that. We don't even know, because we get used to the tension. We get used to the discomfort. We get used to the resistance. And so what I'm inviting us to do is to really move into a place of resistance-free living. Resistance-free living. There's a saying, I know we all know it in religious science and metaphysical saying, that what you resist persists. What you resist persists, and it does. What we resist persists. And Ernest Holmes says that when we are focused on resisting something, then the very thing that we are resisting begins to be made, the energy of it begins to be made manifest in our life. We begin to manifest the very thing that we're resisting, because we have that energy and we are attracting it, because energy is all that there is. And so we are beginning to attract that very thing that our energy is focused on, that our energy is up for. And so when we are resisting anything or anybody, before you know it, it's in our faces. Before you know it, it's in our experiences. Before you know it, it's right where we are and we can't seem to get rid of it. You're like, how did I get this again? Well, that's not a real hard question, is it? It's not a real hard question, because again, it's all about us. And despite what our mothers told us when we were teenagers, that it's not all about you. It is. It really is. When we get to be adults, we realize that. When we get to be awake as adults, we realize that it really is all about us, because the very thing that we think that we don't want is the very thing that's staring us in the face. And you know what? It's because we are looking at what we don't want. Ernest Holmes says, rather than focusing on what we are against, focus on what we are for. Focus on what we are for. Focus on what we are for. Be for abundance rather than against lack. Be for love rather than against hate. Be for peace rather than against chaos. Be for something. What are you for? What are you willing to be for? And what are you willing to give up your resistance against? Are you willing to have a resistance-free life? That's the big question for you today. That's the big question for all of us as we go through our lives. Let's take a breath again. For some reason, I'm not breathing right now. But I'm inviting you to really think about, I'm going to call it 3 B's, the 3 B's. I'm not going to count breathe because that's always the first B for me is breathe. And so I'm going to be inviting you to breathe. But the first B that I'd like you to focus on is be accepting of what is. Be accepting of what is. Be accepting of what is, whatever it is. That doesn't mean that you like it. It doesn't mean that you have to like it. It doesn't mean that you want it. It doesn't mean that you agree with it. It just is. It just is, whatever it is, it just is. And so I'm inviting you to be accepting of what is and really, it's not so much focusing on it as being accepting of it, not pushing against what is, not spending your time wishing it were not trying to get rid of it, not pretending that it isn't. Just looking a fact in the face and recognizing this is a fact, this is what is. This is what is in this moment. And when we can get to that place, then we can get to a sense of peace within ourselves. We can get to a place of centeredness within ourselves when we get to a place of really focusing on and accepting what is. When we get to that place, then we're at a place of power. We're at a place of, now that I accept that this is what is, I can make some conscious choices. I can decide what I'm going to do, how I'm going to handle the situation. I'm not railing against it. I'm not fighting against it. I'm accepting what is. This is what is. Again, accepting the facts. This is not the truth, big T truth, because facts and truth are different. We live in a world of facts. We're always dealing with facts in our world. But the truth is, there's no separation. The truth is there's only one life, there's only one power, there's only one love, there's only one peace, there's only one. That's the truth of our being. And we are made in the image and likeness and out of that one. And so knowing that that's the truth of our being, all this other stuff happens because we are in a world of facts. And despite the fact that there appears to be all this chaos, there appears to be all this disorder, there appears to be disharmony, there appears to be lack, there appears to be all these things, these are facts. And the truth is that abundance is, the truth is that God is, the truth is that order is, the truth is that peace is, the truth is that there's only one. There's only one. There's only one. And so what we do is continue to return unto that one over and over and over again so that we can heal that sense of separation that we all experience, that sense of separation. And I say sense of separation because there can be no separation. There can be no separation between us and the one power, the one presence, the one mind, the one intelligence. There can be no separation. We can never be separate from God. We can never be separate from the creator. We can never be separate from the source of our being. We can think that we are. We can live like we are. We can feel like we are. We can believe we are. But that's us doing that. There's no way that we can ever be separate from that which created us. And so when we keep that in mind and keep that truth in mind and keep returning to that truth, then when we keep returning to that, then we get the guidance we need. We get the direction that we need to move forward and to know that, okay, I'm going to be accepting of what is. This is the way it is. And you hear people say, it is what it is. Sometimes we just have to say, it is what it is. And what we're really saying is we're putting down whatever the weapons may be that we use to separate us from each other or to separate us from situations. When we get to a place of accepting what is, we also get into a place where we recognize that our peace does not come from the external. We get to a place where we recognize that the peace in our hearts does not come from somebody else changing or some circumstance or some situation changing. It comes from us changing. It comes from us being a place of peace. It comes from us opening our hearts. And as I said last week, when we're dealing with willingness, we're dealing with open-heartedness. We're dealing with open-heartedness. We're dealing with open-heartedness because God works through an open heart. And there's no way we can be at one with the all that is with a closed heart. Impossible. Impossible to experience the allness and the fullness of the all that is. And so getting back to just being accepting of what is. And when we get to the place where we're accepting of what is, we start to do downstream living. Downstream living keeps us in the flow. Downstream living means that we aren't trying to pretend we're a salmon and trying to swim upstream, which is what many of us do. Most of us do at some point or another. We're trying to swim upstream. We are not salmon. We are humans made in the image and likeness and out of God itself. And so when we find ourselves struggling, when we find ourselves resisting, when we find ourselves in that place of angst, in that place of turmoil and all that, that's because we're efforting. And when you find yourself efforting and when life is hard and all that, imagine yourself in a boat that's trying to swim against the current. I mean, that's trying to you're trying to row against the current. Turn that boat around. Turn that boat around and head downstream. Turn that boat around and head downstream because God is in the flow. God is downstream. God is in everything, obviously, but what I'm saying is that the flow is downstream. The flow is ease. The flow is grace. The flow is peace. These are not things that we have to create. We just have to open up and allow them. We have to open up and allow them. And so when we move to a place where we are being accepting of what is, that's when we've turned that boat around. We realize I may have this diagnosis. My relationship may be in tatters. My finances are even worse, or whatever the case may be. Acknowledging that this is what is. This is what appears to be. I'm going to turn this boat around, go with the flow, and allow that presence within me to guide me to the right action, to the right choices, or whatever it is that I may need to do. But that's what I'm asking you to do. Be accepting of what is. And once we are accepting of what is, the second B is bless it. Bless it. Bless it. I grew up in the South, so bless your heart. Bless your heart was a real serious blessing that we gave to people. That's not what I mean. That's not the same kind of blessing I'm talking about. Bless your heart was a way of calling someone an idiot without really saying that. That was just bless your heart. So what I mean is a blessing is wishing with all of your heart, wishing with all of your heart, with sincere intention, the very best for someone. Blessing from the bottom of your heart. Blessing from the bottom of your heart with total sincerity, the very best for someone. I'm going to say that again. Blessing from the bottom of your heart with total sincerity. That's the key right there, total sincerity. Bless your heart is not always sincere with regard to what the words are saying, even though the blessing that's being sent is probably sincere with that phrase. But the whole thing is wishing from the bottom of your heart in total sincerity, the very best for someone. That's what a blessing is. And not only for someone in a certain situation or whatever the case may be, it could be a situation, but the point is to bless it. And the important thing is in total sincerity, with an open heart, a loving heart, from a place of centeredness. That's how we bless, from a place of centeredness, because the intention behind the blessing is what's healing. The intention behind the blessing is what's really the blessing. It isn't so much the words. And, we can develop our own words of blessing. And I invite you all to develop your own words of blessing so that when you get caught in a pinch, you know exactly what to say, how to bless something, how to bless someone, how to release. Because when we bless something, we can release it. We can release any energy that is unlike love, that is unlike peace, that is unlike harmony, that is unlike balance, that is unlike joy, that is unlike forgiveness, that is unlike compassion, that is unlike the presence of God. That's what we can do when we really bless something or someone. And so I'm inviting you for resistance-free living. We have to learn to bless whatever the situation is. Bless whoever the person is. Bless whoever the people are. No judgment. Letting go of any sense of judgment, because you know what? Judgment just glues us to people. Judgment is like negative glue. I had a minister friend who always said that judgment is like negative glue. It glues us to the other person, so long as we're judging, or the situation, whatever it is, because when we're judging, it's always in our energy field. It's always on our minds. You're always on my mind. It's always on my mind. Every time I stand up here, songs come to me. So I'm not going to sing it. So, but seriously, letting go of judgment. Letting go of judgment. And when we're judging other people, let me just say this too. When we're judging other people, it cements them in the place where they are. They can't move from where they are because we have judged them and we have cemented them to that place. And they always do what we expect them to do. They always act like we expect them to act. They always do whatever because we've judged them and we put that negative glue on them and we've glued them to that spot, glued them to that action, glued them to those words. It's on us. It's on us to let it go. So instead of judging, let's bless. Let's bless it, whatever it is, bless it. Recognizing, as the reading says, that this being human is a guest house. This being human really is a guest house. And that takes me to the third B, which is be grateful. Be grateful. Every morning, a new arrival. A joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness that arrives like an uninvited visitor. Every morning, a new arrival. You know what? Every moment, a new arrival. It was slower when Rumi was on this planet. It's sped up now. Every moment, a new arrival. Every moment, there's a new arrival. Every moment, there's something for us to be concerned about. Every moment, there's something to tick us off. Every moment. And what we have to do is just keep returning to our center. Keep returning to our center, saying, this is what is. I would not choose this. And it's here. And I'm going to bless this. And I'm going to stay in this boat and turn it around and head downstream. And I'm going to be thankful for it. I'm going to be thankful for it because, as the reading says, all of these things that come, even if these things come to our house and sweep through our house, and sweep our houses clean of all its furniture, be grateful. Be thankful. Be thankful because it's a guide from beyond for us to grow, for us to expand, for us to heal. Whatever it is within me that needs to be healed, you can bring it up for me. As much as I don't like that. And I know it's not about you because you don't have that kind of power over me. It's about me. It's about me needing to heal. It's about me needing to heal my sense of separation. It's about me needing to move back into the truth that I know about me and where I need to grow and where I need to expand and where I need to develop. That's what it's about. And so that's what I'm inviting you to do, is to be grateful for this opportunity for growth. Be grateful for this opportunity to expand. Be grateful for this opportunity to learn. Be grateful for this opportunity to move into oneness with the divine, even more than we've ever been. Because each time we get a chance to grow, each time we get a chance to open up, each time we get a chance to expand, each time that we get a chance to walk through those rough patches, we get closer to God. or we have the opportunity to get closer to God. Because if we would take the time to clear out that stuff, clear out the muck, let go of the anger, let go of the resentment, let go of the judgment, let go of the blame, let go of the shame, let go of the guilt, let go of all that stuff that we hold on to. If we take the time to do that, we have just, look at the layers that we peeled away, the layers that we peeled away from around our hearts. And when we peel away those layers, we create that opening for God to express. Wow. Wow. Look at what avenues of expression we can be when we let go of all that stuff. And when we turn that boat around and head downstream. Head downstream. And when we head downstream, as I said, we're going with the flow. We can breathe, we can bless, and we're just going with the flow. And as we're going with the flow guides us. There's nothing blocking because God is the flow. Always guiding, always directing, always, always, always. Now, willingness is still a part of this because you got to be willing to let go of the complaining. You got to be willing to let go of being angry. You got to be willing to let go of wanting to control. You got to be willing to let go of whatever it is that's been motivating us to be in that place of resistance. We got to be willing to let all that go. And as we are willing, then we can get into that place of the flow, and we get into that place of allowing, because that's what the flow is about also. It's about allowing. It's about opening up and just allowing God to be God. And when we allow God to be God in our lives, oh my goodness, when we allow God to be God, look out. Look out. Look out. The blessings in our lives, the healing in our lives, the transformation for each one of us. Wow, it expands. It expands. And the beauty that we know is that it's never too late. It's never too late. And the fact that this year we're dealing with the idea of beginning again and beginning again in each and every moment of each and every day, we can begin again right now. No matter what happened before we walk through these doors here today, we can begin again right now. Right now, in this moment. Right now, in this moment. Right now, in this moment, we can begin again. And as we do that, then we can move into that place of resistance-free living. Imagine that. Resistance-free living. What will you do with your time? What will you do with your thoughts? What will you do with whatever? Just I encourage you to try it this week and find out what you'll do with it. Try it this week. First of all, breathe. Take a deep breath. And no matter what happens, no matter what you find yourself involved in, or what the situation or circumstance may be, or who the person may be, or whatever it is, take a deep breath first of all, and be accepting of what is. This is what it is. This is what it is. I don't have to fight it. I don't have to push it away. I don't have to do anything. This is what it is. This is what it is. And then bless it. I wish the very best for this person. I wish the very best in this situation. I wish the very best in total sincerity, from the bottom of my heart, I wish the very best for you. From the bottom of my heart, I wish the very best for you. That takes a lot. That takes a lot. Because sometimes we don't. And what we have to do is take a deep breath and say, you know what? Yes, I do. You know what? I'm willing to wish the very best for you. I'm willing to wish the very best for you. I'm willing to get to that place where I can wish the very best for you. So what I'm saying all this for is so that you don't get caught up in, well, I just can't do it, so I'll just give up. It's like, no, sometimes we have to develop the willingness, and that's why the theme this month is willing to be willing. I'm willing to be willing to see the God in you. Sometimes we can't always see it. Sometimes we can't always see it. That doesn't mean we give up and stop looking and stop knowing. Because whether you can see it or not doesn't change anything. But what I'm inviting us to do is to be willing to see the God in the other person or in the situation and circumstances. And when we do that, then we can also be in that place of blessing. And our relationships become easier and our lives become fuller. And we start to operate from a much more centered place, from a much more centered place, from a much more centered place. And when we're in that place of center, we're in that place of oneness. And when we're in that place of oneness, all things are made new. All things are made new. All things are made new. And if you don't believe it, try it. You have an opportunity to prove the things that I say when I stand up here every week. You have an opportunity to prove the things that Ernest Holmes says in Science of Mind. You have an opportunity to prove that you're not separate from God. You have an opportunity to prove all of this stuff, all these principles. We have an opportunity to prove it. If you don't believe it, prove that's not true. Prove it, that it doesn't work. But make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do, because you can't prove it if you don't do it all. So make sure you're doing your spiritual practice. Make sure you're forgiving. Make sure you're being in a place of compassion. Make sure you are being in a place of the flow and letting go of the resistance and letting go of the judgment and letting go of all those things that keep us out of the flow. Make sure you're doing all that. Make sure you're being mindful in each and every moment, because we can only be aware of our resistance when we are mindful. Because sometimes, like I said, it's second nature. We don't even know that we are. You know, we put that hand up without even thinking about it. Be mindful. Be present. Before you leave this room today, be present enough to see how many times you resist and what you resist and who you resist before you leave this room today. This is just for you. This is all happening with the inside. You don't have to tell anybody. This is not a test. You don't have to, write it down and put it in the basket in the back before you leave. It's just for you to think about. Be mindful. How much resistance am I feeling right now? Am I willing to let it go? Am I willing to just bless this situation? Am I willing to just bless this person? Am I willing to be grateful for this opportunity to grow, for this opportunity to come back into alignment, to come back into that place of oneness, to come back into that place of knowing the truth of my being, that I'm made in the image and likeness and out of God itself? There's no resistance in that. There can be no resistance because there's no resistance in spirit. And so, keeping in mind that this being human is a guest house, then we don't get freaked out when the new arrivals come. When the new arrivals get there who are not like us. When the new arrivals come who don't look like us. When the new arrivals come who don't sound like us, who don't think like us, who don't act like us, and certainly don't act like we want them to. Yeah, what are we going to do then? Let's turn that boat around. Let's start to move into downstream living. And downstream living is being in the flow. It's resistance-free living, downstream all the way. Downstream, I'm hearing roll your boat. Downstream all the way. Merrily, 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 merrily. Life is but a dream. Yeah. So let's take a breath together as we just move into prayer, and just knowing that as we take this breath, there's nothing to block it. As we take this breath, tune in and see if there's any resistance to breathing right now. Just take a deep breath in and out. If there's any resistance, take another deep breath. In and out. Letting go. Being willing to let go. Being willing to be willing to let go. Being willing to be willing to be willing to be willing to be willing to let go. And so we take this breath in this moment, And in this moment of openness and open-heartedness and willingness, I recognize that one power. I recognize that one presence. I recognize that one breath. I recognize that one life. I recognize that one activity. I recognize that one intelligence, that one that I choose to call God. I recognize that one, knowing that it is the only one, and knowing that this onlyness is my life. This onlyness is the life of each of us here this day. And this onlyness is that from which none of us can be separate, because we are made in this image and in this likeness, and out of it itself. And so what we do is just let go of anything that appears to block, anything that appears to hinder, hamper in any way, encumber in any way. We let it go. And we breathe easily in alignment with that one that is our very life, allowing it to move in and through and as each one of us. For it lives and it moves and it has its being in us as we live and move and have our being in it. And just knowing this truth, we return to this place of oneness, this place of center, over and over and over again. And it is from this place of center that I speak the word for each of us this day, speaking a word of openness, speaking a word of allowing, speaking a word of oneness, knowing that as we move and into alignment with this one, that all things are made new, that healing is happening on every aspect of every level of our being, in every aspect of our lives, every aspect of our being, healing is happening. Wholeness is revealing itself. Wholeness reveals itself as joy, as health in the body temple. Wholeness reveals itself as love, as forgiveness, as compassion, as peace of mind, as harmony, as balance. Wholeness reveals itself in and through and as each one of us. Relationships are healed. Any sense of lack and limitation is dispelled, is dismissed, is dissolved right here and right now by this word that's being spoken. Breathing in to that wholeness that already is and allowing it to flow through each one of us. This word is being spoken for each one to experience the guidance and the direction and the protection and the safety that is always available to us from this one power and this one presence. It is manifesting itself in our lives right here and right now. And so as we move forward from this place, I know that God has gone before and made straight our way in all ways and all things. Yet God accompanies us along the way, wherever we go, whatever we do. God is always right where we are. Healing, wholeness are always right where we are. So we open our hearts to accept healing, wholeness, peace, love, joy, the allness and the fullness of God, all needs met in each and every life. This is what we're opening up to accept right here and right now by this word that's being spoken. And so as I open this circle of prayer, I pause momentarily so you may speak the names of anyone you'd like held in prayer. You may speak their names silently or loud, but you may speak their names now. And so for all those whose names are spoken here this day, I know that right where each person is, God is blessing and keeping them. In the midst of every circumstance, every situation, God is. God is. In the midst of every event, God is. This is a truth that I know. This prayer goes out to anyone on this planet needing a prayer this day. Anywhere there is disaster or devastation of any kind, anything that appears to be separate from God, I know that God's in the midst of it. In the midst of it. In the midst of it. That's what I know to be true. And so I simply say thank you, Father, Mother God, for the perfect manifestation of this word today, right here, right now. I know that all is well, but I know that all is God. Thank you, God. I simply allow it to be. And so it is.
undefined. I'm just beginning, the pen's in my hand, ending unplanned. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you could not find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inner visions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken, live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins, the rest is still unwritten. I break tradition, sometimes my tries are outside the lines. We've been conditioned to not make mistakes, and I can't live that way. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you could not find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inner visions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken, live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins, the rest is still unwritten. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you could not find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inner visions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken, live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins, the rest is still unwritten. The rest is still unwritten. The rest is still unwritten.
That's one of my favorite songs. Geez. Oh, now I have to get centered here. We have come to our conscious giving time, the time where we participate in the divine law of giving and receiving by giving of our tithes and offerings. We invite you to join us in this sacred practice by tithing here at CLF. To tithe to CLF, we tithe to local nonprofit organizations that are serving our communities and making a real difference in the lives of real people. If you're online, you can click the donate button on our website or on the Facebook page. Or you may use your cell phone to text to give. The text to give number is on the screen here, and it's 844-941-4360. Again, that's 844-941-4360. For our in-person giving, the ushers are now making their way forward. Kirsten will lead us in our offering song, I Trust in God. The lyrics are on the screen.
I'm thankful, so grateful. I am one in the spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. I surrender, I trust in God. I am thankful, so grateful. I am one in the spirit of the family. I am thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. I trust in God. I trust in God. I trust in God.
Let us now repeat our offering blessing. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God, and so it is. Thank you all very much. Now, here's Nicole with the announcements.
Yay me. Oh. Well, thank you so much for that talk, because boy, did I need it this weekend. Last week I had this really super amazing experience. And this week it was like, oh, was it too good to be true? And I was faced with a choice. Do I believe that? Or do I believe the truth? And I've been working it. I've been cleaning out the guest house. So thank you for that, because it feels better. And, some great ways and things that I knew to do in order to work with that were some of our spiritual practices, right? So I had all these opportunities that you have as well. So we start with midday meditation, which is Monday through Friday at noon. It's a half hour, and it's on our Facebook and YouTube live streams. And like I said, it was Monday through Friday, but this weekend I could pull up any one of those meditations and do them to get centered and to help clear out the muck. We also have, I'm sorry, I'm going to go back a little bit, because we do have the pre-service meditation at 9:30. And it was mentioned earlier that Monica facilitated today's. We were able to live stream it today. So hopefully that will be continuing to happen. I got a thumbs up back there. It works successfully. So we will be live streaming midday, our pre-service meditation. And you can join us here at 9:30. And if you show up a little earlier at 9:20, you can do our praying with us too. So, and we highly encourage that. The more we pray together, the more we meditate together, the more we shift the energies of the world and ourselves. So do that. And let's not forget that we have Monday practice with Reverend Jorge on Mondays. Imagine that, at 6:30. And that's on our Facebook and YouTube live streams. Join us on Monday and get your weekly assignment to take your Sunday lessons in through the week. So we're not just a Sunday church, we're an all the time church. Our community care and connection Zoom meeting with Reverend Sherry is every Tuesday evening at 6:30 p.m. And this week, Reverend Sherry will be leading Conscious Conversation. Check in, bond over insights you've received, check in and see how you're doing on your weekly assignment from Jorge. Whatever, but just come connect, and really enjoy this intimate time together. It's pretty special. Then the Ernest Holmes book study is well underway. They are reading It's Up to You. Get your copy today from Amazon if you haven't already downloaded it. And how far are we in through this? Because there's only a couple of weeks left. You're way through it. So like, yeah, I believe it. So are we still like read through half of it and then show up? Or read through all of it and show up, and it doesn't matter where you are. You'll get into some really great discussions, and again, connection. It's really a lot of connection and deepening in the principles and practices and truth of science of mind. Next Sunday, Reverend Sherry is leading our monthly community visioning at 11:30 a.m. here at Embassy Suites. You are invited and encouraged to be a part of this sacred practice to catch God's vision for Creative Living Fellowship. Remember that God's vision for CLF can only be expressed through us. So join us for this very special community event. And then after service, we have our practitioners available to pray with you. We have Reverend Mary Jane Hyde, we have Fran Peck, and we have Monica Zickus here. And this is our pray area here. It's nice and cozy. And come get the gift that the practitioners are offering of prayer, right? It's a gift that for them to give it, and it's a gift for you to receive it. Be in that exchange, please. And then also on our welcome table outside the door, we have a prayer box. So you can do a written request that way. It will be prayed over for 30 days. Or you can send us an email at prayer@creativelivingfellowship.com at any time. Just put prayer request in the subject line, please. And then finally, we have fellowship at Tatum's Grill after service. Join Reverend Sherry. She'll have some appetizers for you, hang out, and just spend time together. You can find all the information for all of our events on our website, in your email, and on Facebook. Reverend Sherry, you're back.
Is this my mic? I always forget. They all look alike. So let's take a breath together. And thank you, Nicole. Just a reminder to use the treatment for supply. I always remind us of that. I sent that to someone this week and encouraged them to use it. And I encourage you to use it because it works. And I use it every morning immediately after my meditation. It's so funny that I do this meditation on Zoom on my iPad. And as soon as I click the little button to switch to another screen, the treatment for supply pops up. And so I guess there must be a little thing in there, a little person in there who knows that this is the next thing she's going to do. So at any rate, and yes, I do still have to read it. Even though I think I know it, there's sometimes I'll forget a line or whatever, but I have it there, and I just encourage you. It doesn't matter whether you ever learn it, just use it. Just use it. So that's a really good thing to do. And of course, I always encourage us to connect with each other. It's important that we continue to connect with each other. Telephone calls, emails, getting together. If you're getting together with people in person now, text messages, however you connect, making sure we reach out, saying, I love you, I miss you, I'd love to see you. I'd love for you to come to Sunday service with me. We can do all those things, connecting with each other. And I would like to remind us that, well, not remind us, but just say to us that this is our home. This is our home now. And I'd like us to just invite people to our homes to have Sunday service with us. And when this is not a place that we are coming to till we get to the next place, this is where we are right now. This is where we are, and being accepting of where we are right now is what I'd like us all to do. And to keep in mind that as we grow into this place, then we can grow out of this place. But there's a basic universal principle that you have to outgrow the place where you are before you can move to the next place. If you don't do that, then you keep coming back to the place where you were. You keep coming back to the place where you were. Keep coming back to the place where you were. People often wonder how people who hit the lotto or hit the lottery and win all that money, and then a few years later they don't have any money at all. It's because they never got there in consciousness. They never outgrew where they were before they got up to that next place, so they came back to wherever the consciousness was. And so that's what I'm saying. We have to outgrow this place so that we can move to another place. But right now, we have to grow into this place. And so I'm inviting you to invite people to our homes, our home, and it may be homes. So when we outgrow this, we just get a bigger spot. So at any rate, that's what I'd like to invite us all to do. And I'm sorry. Home, yeah, our home's home, yes. Yes, thank you, Elena. Thank you very much. So I invite you to take a deep breath. And I also invite you to join me for fellowship after service, as Nicole said, right across the way there in Tatum's Lounge. And we will have appetizers, I can say it, appetizers for us. You are on your own for drinks, whatever they may be. So I think that's all that I have right now. Is it, Nicole? Okay, that's all that I have right now. And I invite you to now, let's do our closing affirmation as we stand. I am ready for resistance-free living. I am willing to live resistance-free. I am willing to go with the flow. Right now, as a result, something wonderful is happening in my life right now. I know it, I sense it, I feel it, and I thank God for it. Thank you, God. And so it is. Here's our closing song, I release.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit